Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the When We Were Kids, a Time Capsule Toys Podcast. I am Rick, here with BJ once again. It is Toyhio week. The most stressful weeks of my life are the weeks leading up to Toyhio. And this week was like no other. Actually, this week was worse than other past ones because it was just a giant headache, and I'll go all into that. Most of this episode is going to be Toyhio related. But first off, right out the gate, BJ pulled some gems from his childhood collection of comics so we can get started on one of everyone's favorite segments, which is the goofy, weird, why did they make this ad, comic book ad portion of the show.
Yeah, I got you an older one over there. There's a Batman from, was it 84, I think?
Yeah,
so
August of 84.
Interesting ones in that one. So, yeah, I got to dig up some other ones from the 80s that I have, whatever, too. I was running out the house this morning, but yeah, I was like, that's good.
But he did bring Gru the Wanderer.
Can't believe you never heard of Gru.
I'd never heard of him until the show last week, so he made sure to bring that in. My first ad is actually quite simple. This, mind you, this is not staged at all. Superpowers, which I will have the mail away Clark Kent at the Monsters in the Toy Box booth this Saturday.
Nice. How much do Superpowers go for these days? Considering that ad's from what, the 84s, early 80s?
84. It depends. On card, Batman's pretty expensive. Batman on card's probably like $250, $300.
I was gonna say those early 80s ones weren't as mass produced as the other ones. So they had to work a little bit more.
What? I know the Clark Kent's like $100 because he was a mail away. The worst ones are Dark Side or Dark Seed, however the word you pronounce the stinking name. Aquaman's Trident is very expensive.
Just to try.
Yes. His Trident is stupid money. But Penguin's, I think Penguin's pretty costly. Green Lantern. The cheapest ones are like Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
Flash is like the cheapest of the cheap. But that's cool that the first page I opened was Superpowers.
Nice. So we got Ultra Games here for the Game Boy. I never heard of this game. Nemesis? You ever heard of Nemesis?
No.
I'm sure
but
it was bad...
They kind of took the Top Gun font.
Yeah, it's like a bad... yeah, they sure did. Yeah, I'm sure it's just another random shoot 'em up.
Oh, here. Available at participating Kmart stores. First off, I never knew Kmart was called The Saving Place.
The Saving Place?
Yeah. That was their tagline. But Warlord, which I actually just sold Warlord on Whatnot.
Oh, nice.
Like on card. And I had a hole in the bottom of the bubble, but I'm about to ship it out. Warlord figures are pretty, they're not very common. They're made by Remco. No, this right here is
last week.
Yeah, get them at your comic store. Subscribe today. Try advertising for you to buy the book that you're actually reading.
All right.
Great marketing.
We have the Great Eastern Convention's comic book convention schedule for June of 1990. No guest announcements on this or anything like that. I guess you're just going to buy some
comics.
Yeah.
Well, this one has you can get, I don't even know, Marvel and DC comics at the lowest prices, 3D stickers, a bodybuilding course, and UFO Solar, a sun-powered airship for $1.98, and the giant airship is 10 feet long.
What's that bottom at on there?
Oh, Gem, son of Saturn.
A boy and his alien?
Yeah.
There's that for Dick Tracy. June 15th, everywhere, the Dick Tracy movie.
Yeah, Dick Tracy, which they, I don't know if you knew this or not. The hardest to get figure in that line's the blank. Because they shipped them all to Canada. Because they didn't realize that it gave away the twist in the movie. So they shipped them all to Canada. So now the figure is like $1,000.
What Like, how is it spoiling the movie?
Because when you take the blanks mask off,
you know.
it's Madonna.
Oh, gotcha.
Spoiler.
I gotcha.
So
I forgot
they're
about
like,
that.
oh God, we're gonna ruin the movie.
It's been a long time since I've seen Dick Tracy.
I know. That's one of the movies I have to watch.
I remember it being all right. Like, they made it really comic book looking, like sort of like I remember Darkman at the time. They did this similar thing with that too, which I thought was kind of cool. I actually like Darkman. Dick Tracy, I don't know if that holds up so much, or whatever. But yeah, I think it's all right.
Omega Man.
I got an issue that I got to bring in too. I
Hey,
mentioned
yeah,
Lobo
you
in
got
it.
the first appearance of Lobo, aka he looks like Gene Simmons.
It's either the first or one of the first. Yeah, it's one of the first. I'll put it that way. I'm not sure if it is the first or not. Here we go with another Nintendo game. Remember Off Road?
Yeah, I remember it. I think my cousins had it.
I remember seeing it everywhere. Oh yeah, now I remember it now. Now I'm looking at the little.
I think one of my cousins had it, and I stunk at it.
The little screenshot. Yeah, it was just a like a racing game.
Yeah, dirt racing game. Not for Sunday drivers. Monogram model kits.
those are the cars you attach to the track, right? Or no?
No, these are just.
They're just models.
I think there's model kits. Yeah, they're model kits. No, you're thinking of slot cars.
Yeah.
Which some slot cars are crazy money.
Here's one for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. All monsters are not created equal.
Some of those books are like crazy money. The toys are crazy money too. Here you go. This is honestly one of my favorite games ever. Burger Time.
Oh, nice.
It's so fun. And whenever I play it, I get so mad because I think of Bob from Bob's Burgers when he's trying to beat stupid Jimmy Pesto's score. Because it's fun, but it's so hard.
Here we got one for, the Uncanny X-Men for Nintendo by LGN. That was a terrible game. Did you ever play that?
Oh, for Nintendo? No.
It was awful. It was not good. Yeah, the game mechanics were goofy. I think it made you play, like it automatically gave you a computer guy with you too. So like you would be going and the computer guy would always get stuck. Like just randomly, like it'd be like, what is this useless thing?
I hated any game that required you to have a sidekick.
Yeah.
Because it just made everything so much worse.
Yeah.
And harder.
And that was an LGN game. LGN didn't exactly have the best track record. Here's another one, Wrath of the Black Manta.
I remember that game, and I always just assumed it was a cheap knockoff of Shinobi.
That's what it looks like.
Or Ninja Gaiden. Or as they say in the show, or the movie The Wizard, he knows Ninja Gaiden.
Crime and kidnapping have put a death grip on New York, Tokyo, and Rio. A solitary figure strives to squelch the misguided dealings of a bunch of underhanded terrorists bent on kidnapping innocent kids. Only the Black Manta possesses the powers that can save them. So you don't even got to go to... this happened 3 cities. This isn't taking place at one city. As seen at the Nintendo World Championships. I don't know. Maybe Wrath of the Black Manta is good. I've never played it.
Now you got to track it down on your emulator and play it.
Yeah, I will.
Underworld Unleashed. Lobo. What year is this from?
That's got to be mid-90s. I'm thinking 94,
Look,
95
he's using,
maybe.
What's-his-face's arrogance.
Oh, got Rick Martel's arrogance. Oh, here we have an ad for a complete piece of crap. The X-Men Tiger Electronics game. I'm sure it was just as good as all the other ones.
There you go. Because, it's Lobo, so we have to advertise something to get the kids excited. Fair game with Sidney Crawford.
And Billy Baldwin. Because everybody wants to see a romantic romp between Billy Baldwin and Cindy Crawford.
I used to have a Cindy Crawford poster on my closet door of her in a bikini. And I was like, good God, she's like the hottest woman alive.
She was back then, no doubt.
Now she just looks like a corpse of her former self.
Well, we're all marching toward that. Yeah. Here's Mortal Kombat.
I'll never forget Mortal Kombat coming out. My cousin got it. And I was just always blown away by the graphics. Because it was pretty much like stop motion animation, but it was like, what do you call it? god, because they actually looked like people,
Right.
and I was just like blown away by it. And it took us forever to try to learn to do the stupid fatalities super fast.
Mm.
And my cousin was always freaking Sub-Zero just so he could freeze me.
I never had, I didn't have Super Nintendo or Genesis, so like if I played Mortal Kombat, it was at a friend's house. So like there's a lot of that, whatever. But I never, never had it. So I understand why everybody loved it because I love playing at my friend's house. That and Street Fighter too.
This was a huge thing in the 90s. Video games that had VHS tapes.
Oh boy, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, so there was Atmosphere, and there was another one called Nightmare. And my sisters used to play. They would always talk about. They had a friend that lived by my aunt's house, and they would always play Nightmare.
Mm.
And that was like a huge thing. Was horror VHS board games. It was like a huge thing in the mid '90s. I never even see Atmosphere anymore. I always, every now and again, I'll run across Nightmare.
So here's an ad for a racing game but the ad is the bottom of the page and it has a cartoon cat that got ran over by something in the track. So that's
Go
the ad.
flat out.
It's not like you think it's like a, you know what I mean, like a cartoony game for Top Gear 2, and then there's like the screenshots are like the tiny little thing down there.
Oh my god, that makes no sense. Like
yeah, there's nothing.
Like it makes you think it's cartoony, but you're like, no, you're driving fast cars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people reading comic books are buying Edwin Collins CDs.
Yeah. Can't say I was an Edwin Collins fan in 1995.
I haven't been a single comic book reader that was a fan of Edwin Collins.
There's an ad for Soldiers of Fortune for the Sega and Super Nintendo.
They made a game for Soldiers of Fortune?
What's the ad? Is the ad like a piece of burnt toast?
Oh my god, yes it is. In this game, it's either you or them. Someone's going to be burnt toast.
Oh boy. That's a bit
I never seen this movie.
That's a reach,
came out
too.
October 13th. You know you want it. Strange Days.
I don't even know what that movie is. I've never even heard of it. I think the website still works.
It's probably the first movie I ever had a website.
It might be. It's the early days of the internet back
What the
here.
hell's this? It's a game. Maybe PC. Called The Changeling.
Maybe it's a PC. I don't even know what it is. Some of these ads, man, I don't know who the hell would prove these things. Like half of them, you don't even know what the ad is. It's like, okay, it looks like something, but
Well, this is Lobo, so they got like the crumbs. Like this. What the hell does that even say? Ill met in Lankmore. It's made by the same people who made the other game.
Jesus, you can't even read that ad.
I know. It's gray with
Gray
black
on gray.
font, and like you can't read any of it.
How? I feel like that was done on a very early version of like Word Perfect or something. There's another three-page ad here for.
But this makes no sense. Coming in September 1995. This issue's from December 1995. So
Apparently, they're a freebie ad. I don't know. Like, I just stick that ad in there. It's for,
Year 1, Doomsday. They were legends.
Here's a 3-page ad.
I never remember Doomsday having his own comic.
I don't really remember that either. No. A 3-page ad for Konami's Rocket Knight Adventures.
I remember the game.
Confronted with danger, possums will often play dead. This one goes ballistic.
I remember that game, but I never played it. I always wanted to play it because it looked like it was fun. But I don't remember the actual game. Sovereign's another comic. Year 1, Sovereign 7. Never heard of them.
Mm-mm. That's a new one too to me. Yeah. They pumped out so many titles in the mid-90s, like it was hard to keep track of what was what. And yeah, all right, we're big. This issue's big on Mortal Kombat. Another Mortal Kombat ad available at Kmart.
Good old Goro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here you go. Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Which a lot of people don't know. There's a director's cut that is completely different. Like, I can't remember which one's which. But in one of the versions, you find out, like, Michael Myers was built by a company.
Huh.
And then for Dark Horse Interactive, it doesn't tell you what system it's a comic book adventure, but it's not a comic book. It's a game. It bleeds acid. It can read your mind. It is a born killer. It is the last of your worries. Aliens.
That's not a video game. What is it?
Video game still's at the bottom.
What does it say? A comic book adventure under the aliens thing? Is it? I don't know what that is.
Exactly. It's saying it's saying it's a comic book adventure, but there's stills of a video game, but it doesn't tell you what system it's for. Or I'm guessing it's PC. Because it says Mindscape.
Boy,
it makes no sense.
Whoever's in charge of these ads, like half of them you don't even know what the hell they are.
You're telling me.
Very, very random.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, very random.
Who put out Lobo? Oh, DC.
Mm-hmm.
Man, DC just really dropped the ball with putting out ads and that thing. I think Jesus Christ, they put out ads for stuff that came out 2 to 3 months prior.
Wasn't is there a Lobo movie coming out, or wasn't there supposed to be one?
There was supposed to be a TV show.
Oh, okay.
On WB, and they canceled it because it made the first appearance of Lobo skyrocket, and then they canceled it because they ended up canceling or announcing the cancellation of another show. So then the comic just like plummeted in price. So
that was one of those ones, like in mid '90s, like where they, like every comic book was just like chicks with giant racks and bikinis and like they made everything. Everything went way overtly like, well, let's compare to
Blood
Teenage Boys.
Rain or Vampirella and oh my God, Witchblade and we just had a guy come into Time Capsule Toys and bought $700 worth of female action figures, and he bought up like all the ones that had giant breasts. It was like
that was the thing in the mid '90s. Yeah, everywhere
he bought so many.
Didn't they tone all that back now in comic books? Like, didn't they? Yeah, they got way super conservative, whatever. Because they went overboard with it. Like, because remember even then it was like. My mom seeing some of these comics, she's like, Jesus. Like, I was like, I don't know.
There was like was it Jean Grey used to wear that outfit that looked like a giant V bathing suit.
Yeah.
So like it was like barely covered up like her crotch, and then like it just like went over nipples, and then their butt cheeks. I'm just like, you're gearing this towards kids.
Yeah,
And she's just running around fighting crime in a giant V.
But yeah, Lobo stuff was all like that because he was all, he swore, he was crude, but that was the whole deal with him. So yeah, I guess I'm not super surprised that got canceled. Although, how many people were really into Lobo though back in the day?
There's not even that much Lobo stuff.
Yeah, like I didn't think that was that big of a thing that would spawn a TV show or anything. Did it have toys?
There was a figure. We actually just sold it a couple months ago.
From back then, or is it something that somebody did recently?
It might have been early 2000s.
Okay.
I'm not even sure if he even had a figure in the 90s. Now that I think about it.
I don't remember Lobo toys.
He may have a figure, but I doubt it. Because like I said, early 2000s, I think, is when he got his first figure.
I don't even know who else was in the comic besides Lobo. Like, who were the other
I don't know.
Characters to make figures out of?
Dung beetle in there that I was like, when I scrolled through. I doubt they're making a dung beetle figure. But this Saturday is Toyhio. This Toyhio has been the biggest clusterfuck headache of my life. I got informed that Harley Cameron got pulled again. Second time in a row where they gave her clearance and go, nope.
I see Tony Khan's, as far as letting people know what their schedules are, like that lasted all about 3 months before it went right back to, oh, we're going to pull you the week of to do the show or to be whatever.
Yeah, so she got pulled. So then we replaced her with the help of Danhausen. He contacted Ricky Starks. So Ricky Starks is literally flying in from like Seattle to do the show. So he's doing a wrestling show Friday night, jumping on a plane, coming straight to do Toyhio. And then here's the crazy part of it all. That made the dirt sheets.
Yeah.
It is the most famous I think I'll ever be in my life. The fact that my toy show made the dirt sheets because of Ricky Starks coming to Toyhio.
Whatever Ricky Starks does, they're following him because he's in limbo. He's on the bench. We talked about this on our wrestling podcast. Like, AEW's got a lot of people on the bench. You know what I mean? Where it's like they're paying him and they're not whatever. And Ricky Starks is unfortunately one of them, but he's great. Like wherever eventually he's going to wind up in WWE, and he's going to be awesome.
The question is where. But now because that them hitting the dirt sheets, Danhausen told me I owed him $10,000. So there's that. So buy your Toyhio tickets, please. I owe that man $10,000.
I like Ricky Starks. They interviewed him for Web is Jericho a couple years ago. It was right before he got. Every time he gets a push, or it seems like he's going to get a push, the rug gets pulled out from under him.
I loved him when he came in. Like he stands out.
We watched him. I mean, that first season of NWA where they brought NWA back which was a great season when that started. NWA is kind of a different thing now, but he was on that and he was great. Yeah. He was like, who's this guy? Like, this guy's amazing. He was on there. Eli Drake, who's LA Knight, was on there. Thunder Rosa was on there. Like, they had some great people when they started.
Yeah, it was.
The pandemic kind of killed that, but
yeah, but he's awesome. Like, I love watching him wrestle. I love watching him do promos. I talked to him at Wrestling Under the Stars a couple of years ago about possibly doing a Toyhio, and it wasn't in the cards then. And then Danhausen's like, I'll talk to Ricky. I'm like, Starks? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Because I'm like, he's not going to do this. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I gave him your number. And he texted me. I was like, holy crap. And he's like, can we do this? I'm like, deal done. So we got Ricky Starks coming now. And then Tuesday night. Actually, it wasn't Tuesday night. It was Tuesday morning. I'm running a Whatnot. If you're on Whatnot, follow me, Toyhio. I'm running a Whatnot, and then the agent calls me, and I ignore it because I'm live on Whatnot. I'm like, she only calls me when it's something bad. I'm like, what is going on now? I answer the phone. She goes, Rick, why does AEW hate you? I was like, what did I do now? I'm like, I haven't said anything or done anything. She goes, oh, I'm just saying that. They pulled Julia. She has to go to work now. She has to work Collision. I'm like, oh, my God. So I was like, I can't announce another cancellation. I said, I need someone to replace her. So I told Danhausen, I'm like, someone else got pulled. He's like, who now? I told him. And he goes, oh, my God. He goes, all right, I'll try to help. So he tried. We tried for someone, which I thought would have been really cool. We tried for Maki Ito. I don't know if you've ever seen her. Little Japanese girl who swears and gives people the finger all the time.
No,
like, she's a huge deal. And, like, people love her. She looks like a real-life anime. And he goes, she's probably booked. And she was booked. And then Chelsea, the agent I've been using, helped me. She goes, here's your options. And I was like, these people I kind of wanted to wait on. But I said, this person has been requested so much, it's like not even funny. She goes, let me talk to her, see what we could do. So Sky Blue is coming to Toyhio. So now everyone's like stoked.
We just got good replacements.
Thank God. That was my goal. Because I'm like, I don't want to replace it with someone less than. I have to be equal to or better.
Wasn't like me, BJ from the podcast. Like, oh, great.
BJ from the podcast. Free autographs. At least BJ would sign, because I won't.
Yeah, it's not worth anything.
So now we have Sky Blue. We have Luchasaurus. We have Danhausen. And Ricky Starks. And everyone's prices are the same across the board. $30 for an autograph. $30 for a selfie. $50 combo. That's the easiest way to do it. Straight across the board.
Are they all there for the same time window, or is it kind of staggered a little bit?
Most of them are going to be 11 to 12 to 1. All right. 11 to 2. Wait. Yeah, 11 to 2. And then Sky is going to be 12:30 to 3:30. So.
And the hours, what, is it 10 to 6 or 10 to, what's the hours for the whole thing? Early bird's what, 9:30, right?
If you buy your tickets in advance, you get it at 9:30. If you pay at the door for early bird, you get it at 10. Super early bird just sold out this morning. Super early bird people get it at 8:30. I've answered these questions so many times, it's not even funny. My phone's going off right now with people asking, but I've already made a post several times.
I'll clip it and put it out there.
General admission is $5 and starts at 11. If you pay with card, you got to pay tax. If you don't want to pay tax, pay with cash. I say this stuff all the time, and people are like, "Well, you got to pay tax because you're paying with a card." Cash is king in this business. If you want deals at the show, cash. Don't try to haggle someone down and hand them a card. It's the biggest insult. So, but yeah, this has been the biggest headache of a Toyhio ever. I think I just paid yesterday. The one flight I had to book was probably the third most expensive flight I've ever booked for a guest. I think Anthony Bowens from the Acclaim still holds. It's either him or Jordan Grace. It's a tie. It's a toss up between whose flight cost me more money.
A lot of it's where they're flying from, right? And how soon they got to get here.
Yeah,
so,
Jordan Grace's flight, I booked the day before. We got booked the day before Toyhio because we didn't get her until the Friday before last Toyhio. Like I said, I told everyone to meet her. I said, meet her because she can go be around.
Right.
And boom, she's WWE now.
Same thing with Ricky Starks.
I'm telling everyone right now,
he's going to be in WWE too.
Ricky Starks. If you have not met Danhausen, meet Danhausen. Sky Blue. After this, I guarantee you're probably not going to see Sky Blue around at any signings or anything like that unless it's AEW related. Because the second she's back from injury, they are not going to let her take any bookings. Because that's what happened the last time I tried to book her. It was she was not permitted. She was constantly on TV, and then she got injured. So, tables are all sold out. I'm still getting people messaging me, asking me for tables, as always. Last time, I think we only had 7 tables. I just had someone ask, we made a post about the show, and they go, I was just curious, is there any tables available? I'm like, what do you think? No! No. I have a waiting list of 30 people. And people are like, I don't want to apply if I'm not going to get a table. It's you had 34 people ahead of you. I have to go down the line.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
Well, speaking of tables and is there anything specific you're looking for at Toyhio?
Always. I am looking for the last gross out gang figure I need. I don't even know his name. I just know he has a giant nose and he has a crutch that goes under his nose. I'm never going to find it because the crutch is always missing. I need that real bad because then that's the last one I need. I highly doubt it's going to happen, but My Pet Monster new in the box.
That's sort of a white whale, isn't it?
Yeah, I had a chance to buy one the last time I went to Chicago, which I think was in the spring. The guy had it the previous Chicago Toy Show. It was $900. I was like, yeah, I might buy it. I might pull the trigger on it finally. I go, but I don't want to spend that much money on myself because I have this thing about spending so much money on myself because I want to buy inventory. So I passed on it. The next Chicago I go, he has it still. Now it's $1,500. I'm like, well, I'm getting it now. I'm like, it's not even going for $1,500. So there's other things I know I'm looking for, but it's like one of those things like I probably won't find them. I might find them. I don't know. But it's just one of those, like my mind just went blank. So I'm like, I don't know what else I'm looking for. But I'm sure there's something. I'm looking for toys for the podcast too.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for that weird, stupid crap like Demolition Man and crap like that. Because I like having, when we do the movies that had toy lines, I like having something to show off. Mind you, I sold that dragon already. Guy lost his mind. He's like, I didn't know they made the dragons. And he bought it. I was like, that dragon's not in the movie, FYI. Is there anything you're looking for at Toyhio?
Random wrestling stuff. I told you I wanted a wrestling trash can. So something from the 80s, whether it's Hogan or Warrior. I don't know how many different wrestlers they put on trash cans.
They only had one. It was the one that had Warrior on one side and Hogan on the other.
That was the only WWF trash can they did?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they didn't
That's
have
the only one
everybody.
I ever see. I mean, there might be another one out there that's like stupid rare, but that's the one I know of.
That and then hand towels, WWF hand towels from the early 80s. So like they've been a Miss Elizabeth one, they've been a Macho Man one.
You're looking for the most obscure stuff.
It's all WWF merchandise from the 80s, pretty much is what I'm looking for.
I need bath towels for my bathroom.
Like just ridiculous.
I think my buddy's bringing WWF napkins.
Okay, I remember those. Like you know what I mean. Like
Well, he
the
unearthed
packets
them,
and stuff.
and they were in the back of his parents' closet because he's been cleaning out their house. And his mom saved all the napkins that were unused from their birthdays.
Oh, nice.
So he's the one I said that would want that coupon last week.
Mm-hmm.
He messaged me. He goes, how'd you know I was going to ask you for that? I'm like, because I know you. And the answer is no.
Yeah, I don't know about napkins, but any just random goofy 80s WWF merch, like I'll probably not that I'm gonna buy it all, but like I would be interested. And that's what I'm gonna be like. My eyes gonna catch as I'm going
like
through.
There's some real goofy stuff from the WWF era, like the squirt heads, which those are always cool. I know someone's bringing some wrestling buddies. Someone's bringing the freaking Boss Man one, which is real hard to find. Hardest ones ever to find are freaking Jake the Snake and Legion of Doom. Because Legion of Doom, I don't know if they sold them separately or together.
I remember seeing commercials and or ads or whatever with those in it, but I don't. Yeah, I think the only wrestling buddies I ever actually saw were Hogan and Warrior. You know what I mean?
Oh, I just saw that's not something I'm looking for. I need the Ricky Starks chase. That's him dressed up as Darby Allin, where he did a promo as Darby. And the first thing he said was, I like turtles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I want that chase because I think it's the best chase they've done. And like I could get it online, but I prefer to get it at the show and in hopes just to get it signed. So like that's a wrestling figure I'm really looking for. I'm always looking for inventory.
Do all the guests there have their own figures? Does Sky Blue have a figure yet or no?
It just came out. So if you go on Ringside, you can order 2-day air shipping and you will get it before the show. Because one of the volunteers goes, mine's getting shipped to the hotel because he comes down from Michigan. And he goes, oh my God, they shipped it already. So I was like, oh, thank God. I'm just hoping someone has one there because I don't want to take the risk.
Yeah. I didn't know. Yeah, I figured she was going to get a figure sooner. And I just didn't know
it's out. One. It's out now, but stores around here aren't going to have it.
Right.
Because we get nothing ever. It's awful. It's like the one Walmart still has a Samoa Joe hanging there, and I can't tell you what wave that even is.
Yeah, it's always funny when you go in there and there's always WWF figures or WWE figures hanging there with people that aren't in the company anymore and they're still on the show. Like, who's buying? Like, why is it still here? Like, it's just
like
collecting
Walmart
dust.
Walmart on Elm Road. I had to go there this morning to buy boxes to ship out stuff. And I was like, I'll check toys. And I was like, they still have that Chris Jericho and that Samoa Joe. Those were the only AEW figures they had. And they've been hanging there for about 3 weeks. So, I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I could rattle off stuff that I'm bringing. I'm bringing some crazy rare crap. Like, let's see if I can remember any of it. Dr. Chrome Dome, which is the bad guy to, I forget what, but it's like a 10-inch doll. It has this crappy plasticky cape that like I'm shocked is like still together. Then I was like, oh, he's missing his cane. There's only one on eBay with the cane. It's $800. I'm going through this tote. Like, I set it aside for Toyhio. Then I went back to this tote like a couple months later. I'm digging through. I go, holy crap, it's this cane. So I'm going to have that complete. I'm not expecting to sell it because, like I said, there's one on eBay with the cane. One. I got an Oscar Goldman. I got some real old stuff this time. I had some other random crap. I got an Oscar Goldman from $6 Million Man, a Maskatron from $6 Million Man, some Mego SWAT figures. I got that. Oh my God, what's that turtle? That Ninja Turtle. It's why can't I remember what the hell it is? It's from the Wacky West line. And whatever. I'm gonna have Michelangelo from that, wherever the world he is. I forget. Because I have so much crap.
I saw a Baxter Stockman at the antique store the other day. But they had him behind glass. They wanted $100 for him. I don't know if it's a good price or not.
It depends on which version
it
was.
Most of those. Every time I see toys there, I'm like, they're always ultra overpriced.
Always.
It's like, oh my God, like you're asking what for this? Like when what passes as antiques for some people is just like it's not an antique, like or not
not even close.
It's just like, oh yeah, we bought this. Some poor guy croaked, and we bought this at an estate sale. Here, let's put $5 on it or whatever the hell it is, like just random stuff.
Do you remember? Was it Space Odyssey 1999?
I remember what it is, but
Well, it had toys, and they had that ship called the Eagle. I have that. It's so white. It's like not even funny. I'm shocked. It has one broken tab and missing one booster. I haven't even priced it yet because I don't even know what to price it at because you can't find any online that are complete or close to complete. Because the last complete one with the box sold for like $700. But mine doesn't have the box, but has all the figures, everything else. I got a giant size Bad Boys Bebop that has never been taken out of the box. I have a sealed Foot Cruiser. Sealed Pizza Thrower. I have a bunch of pictures on my phone. So let's see what I have. I just got a crap ton of modern Star Wars. I just got that freaking HasLab Ghost sealed in the shipper. I'm gonna have that. I can't believe I forgot about this. A Space Jam Toon Squad Muggsy Bogues jersey signed by Muggsy Bogues with a COA.
Nice.
Because we just talked about Charlotte Hornets last week. I got that. I wanted to get it framed, but I don't think that's happening at this point because I'm so far behind on everything that I completely forgot about it. I just got a bunch of sealed strawberry shortcake. What else do I have? Oh, Street Fighter 2 figures. I have so much crap. It's like not even funny. What else? I'm trying to scroll through. I have so much crap. Oh, here's a picture. $6 Million Man. Vintage 12-inch G.I. Joe. A carded Mego Spider-Man. One of those flocked G.I. Joes. J.J. Arms complete.
How much? Who's that?
You're like, who was that? I didn't even know. It's that guy.
I have no idea who that is.
Me either. I got his van too. I'm gonna have school supplies. I got Superpowers, Hawkman, signature stamp set, and Rambo pencil top erasers. I'll have to send you this picture.
Oh, nice.
You put that on top of your pencil.
That's pretty awesome.
Like, how are you supposed to write with that thing?
I don't know, but it's pretty awesome.
And he comes with weapons, which is mind-boggling to me. Oh, I got the transducer from Swamp Thing, the Scumocopter from Captain Planet, tons of sealed Batman stuff, like vehicles from like the Toy Biz. I think it's Toy Biz. No, Kenner era. The Ultimate Muscle Ring, complete
Okay, I remember that.
with the box. I have a crap ton of a huge Lego collection. As always, a ton of wrestling. I have a Return of the Jedi kids coat rack, which I had to look up on Worth Point. The last one sold 5 years ago.
Return of the Jedi kids coat rack. What is that?
And then on the other side, it shows you how tall you are.
Huh? So kids would just you hang your coat on the.
Yeah.
Okay.
The X-Men headquarters sealed, which is I didn't realize how hard it was to find, but it's pretty hard to find. TMNT Sewer Sword. Transformers #1 comic. Razor Ramon foam razor, which is rare because I don't think they put it out very long because it being a razor blade.
Right.
What else did I have? Oh, I have so much stuff. Like I said, I've been stockpiling. That's not even all the stuff I have set aside. There's so much more. Like I said, I was just going through my phone and just rattling off the stuff I have. Like I said, I have so much. I will probably have the most carded Hasbros I've ever had at a show, or probably ever. I have 2 carded Bart guns. I have a carded White Belt Yoko. I have a Ludwig Borga, who's about to be on an episode of Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, okay.
No, I have Sherwood Forest. Oh my God, there's so much stuff. Like, I'm gonna have a crap ton of Polly Pockets. Like, I have so much stuff. And I was worried that I wasn't gonna have enough, and now I might have too much. So it's gonna be rather interesting. I'm still trying to think of what else I'm trying to find at the show.
I would probably buy the if somebody has the purple Jason Friday the 13th.
Oh, the NECA one from the video game.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably buy that if somebody has it.
Oh, I'm sure someone will have that. It's just with Toyhio, you never know what the world you're gonna find ever. Like the one time I promoted it as the only show ever where you could find 2. I think it was Farmer Dawn. There was 2 Farmer Turtles. It was Dawn and Mike. I was like, this is the only show where you can find 2 sealed Farmer Dawns. I'm like, there's not even one listed on eBay. And there's 2 at this show. There was also the same show that someone had the prototypes for one of the prehistoric turtles with their dinosaur. Which I talked someone into buying. I walked away. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy them. I went back and the dude bought them. I'm like, well, crap. Like, why did I talk him into buying the stupid things? I'm like, because it was a stupid good deal. And I'm like, why did I just talk him into that? I'm going to run back there and buy them. I'm like, oh, crap. Someone else, dude bought them.
You have me looking for, because, the antique place is East Liverpool, that big giant mall, and then there's a place right around the corner. My wife loves Crichton Pyrex, so we usually go around and zip through, and I just like look at whatever random crap. I rarely buy anything at these places, but you have me looking at stuff. So there was a Scareglow there, right? But you're teaching me here. That's a super valuable one. If you have the original one, this is whatever the reissue one they did.
Someone's bringing a carded one. Ron, who did the show before, just got a crazy childhood collection in. Like, I went and helped him price it on Saturday. He will probably have one of the best booths. The grails he has at his booth from this collection is mind-boggling. It was a set of twins, I guess, and they didn't realize their dad kept all this stuff in the attic. A carded Scareglow, a carded Sorceress, a carded Drag Store. Who else did he have? I want to say he had... Oh, my God. He had another card. He has like 5 or 6 carded figures. Like, that carded Scareglow's over $1,000. The last one, there hasn't been one that sold in years. He got the Robin vehicle from Batman animated series, which is like a $300-something piece because no one ever bought it. He has a combat belt Batman, which is $300. He has, oh my God, the Punisher van. And I'm like, dude, you got to put like $500 on that. He goes, you think people are going to have the juice for this? I go, you're bringing a carded Scareglow. I'm like, I'm going to tell you right now, no one's going to have a carded Punisher van or a sealed Punisher van. He has a ton of Disney gargoyles. He has so much Batman animated series. Like, he has like all the figures that you want. Like, he has the Penguin, which is real hard to find. Like I said, Combat Belt Batman. He has everyone else. God, there's so much. I helped him put together tons of G1 Transformers from that, and most of them were complete. What else? His boots. He's like, this is the most vintage I'm ever gonna have for a Toyhio. I'm like, and you're gonna sell a crap ton of it because Batman the Animated Series is always hot. Like carded Scareglow. Like the last time I saw a carded Scareglow, D&E had one, and they pulled it out of like a horror house. It was like covered in like black mold.
What year did that come out?
It had
the 80s.
It was 80s. If I had guessed, I would say 86 or 87. And it's probably one of the hardest to get carded figures. Like, his loose prices dropped drastically. Like, you could get one with no accessories now for like $75, $80. And if you want one with the cape, it's probably like $125. And if you want one complete with his halberd, depends on if you want the glow-in-the-dark one or the green one, because glow-in-the-dark one, I guess, was like the first version. So then you're probably looking around like $200. Mind you, during COVID, they were $400. And they've dropped 50%. But carded ones are not dropping because you cannot find them. And I told him that. I said, dude, you can't like find this crap. Like, I'm like, they're just hard to find. Like, carded Motu, a lot of that carded stuff is getting really hard to find. Especially some of that 90s stuff. Like, there's a bunch of weird toy lines that are, like, just hard to get.
What was the main series of X-Men that came out? That would have been mid-90s. You have some of it at Monsters in the Toy Box. I see a picture, like, Rogue is one of the ones.
Oh, yeah. Just the ones from
what
the
line
90s.
was that?
It was just called X-Men.
Just X-Men? Was that, like, because, yeah.
And then they did Uncanny X-Men. And then they did X-Men 2099. And then X-Men Monsters or something like that. They spun off so many different X-Men lines.
Right. Whatever that first line was, though, I remember I didn't collect them, whatever, but I remember always thinking, oh, I'll buy a Gambit if I see one, and they were never in a store. I never found one in the store.
Like, you could get one, they're like $15, $20, but they're like one of the hardest ones to track down, and I don't get it. It's so bizarre to me. I can't tell you the last time I even had one. Like, we get Storms in all the time, Wolverines.
Yeah. I see all the other ones. I remember as a kid even seeing all the other ones and stuff, and I only wanted to buy, because I didn't want to collect the whole thing, whatever, but I just wanted Gambit because that was my favorite character from X-Men in the day, and I'm like, oh, let me get, because did they make they had X-Force out of that same line too, right? They had a Deadpool one from that. Is that one that one's probably worth a lot.
Like $50, $60.
Yeah.
Like, because it was his rookie figure.
Because I remember wanting that one too, like back in the day, and never seen it anywhere. You know what I mean? So,
back in the day, I just called him like poor man Spider-Man because I thought that's what he was.
That's what he looked like. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, who cares about this guy? But I guarantee there's gonna be a ton of '90s stuff because '90s stuff's getting like real hot again. So if anyone out there has a Gambit, BJ needs it.
Yeah, if you got a card of Gambit, I'll buy it off you. I'm just gonna buy all this shit I couldn't find. Well, it's funny
because like Powerhouse Hobbs, the one toy how he did, he wore his overalls with no shirt, and he put a Captain Planet figure right there. And Paige is like, "You collect toys?" He goes, "Oh hell yeah!" Because I'm looking for that Iceman that you put in your freezer. Nice. He found that, and then he tweeted a couple weeks ago. He tweeted, "I need this Cyclops," and someone tagged me on it because I didn't see it. I went to a toy meetup. Someone had it. I tweeted, I go, "You still need this?" He goes, "Hell yeah." I go, "All right, I got you." I told him to message me, but he's too busy beating up people. So he started following me instantly afterwards. I'm going to have to shoot him a message. I want to get it out of my store before someone tries to buy it. But yeah, those X-Men figures, I used to collect them all the time. I probably told this story on here 9,000 times where I collected them. And this back in the day when you had to look them up in a catalog to see what the going rate was, like a Beckett basically of action figures. And I wanted Mortal Kombat 2 so bad, my mom refused to buy it for me. So I made her take me to Ames and return every single X-Men figure I had so I can get Mortal Kombat 2. Because I also remember, this is crazy to think about too. Back then, the peg warmers for X-Men was forearms. No one wanted that figure at all. It was awful. He had a stupid haircut. He wore like a headband and had like metal suspenders, but had forearms. Like, no one knew him from anything. Like, he was awful. There used to be so many of that figure left on pegs. Never have I ever got one into either shop on card.
That'd be like
my guess is there's some place out in the desert that they just dug a hole and dumped all the forearms into, like the ET video game for Atari.
That'd be like never seeing a Bushwhackers carded. You know what I mean? Those were everywhere. That's all you could ever find was Bushwhackers.
I have one. And
talk about peg warmers. It was always the Bushwhackers and the Rockers were always the tag team sitting there. It was it.
Yeah.
They're always there. That's the only ones I saw every single time.
I have a carded one for Toyhio, but I think there's a bubble lift on it, but it also has the SummerSlam sticker, which I just found this out a couple months ago, which I did not realize this. I don't know how, because I don't really pay that much attention to them. But if they have a SummerSlam sticker on them, they have a card in there. So I guess that's like the only way to get the card.
Oh, gotcha.
Is to get. So like I have a couple that have, like I said, I have a couple that have the SummerSlam stickers, and those stickers will add like $100 value to. Like when Time Capsule got broken into, and the guy stole all of our Hasbros except for freaking El Gigante. Like, thanks for leaving us one.
What's wrong with that one? He couldn't take that one too.
But like he took like it was the Macho Man variant. It wasn't Macho King. It was the one where it was the Macho Man, so he didn't come with his crown and scepter, which was hard to find. But it also was harder to find because it had the SummerSlam sticker on it. Like, he took that, and like back then I didn't know about the damn cards. So that's why those ones go for so much money. It's a sticker and a card. That's what makes it valuable.
You know what I see everywhere too? Is speaking of antique stores. Usually you don't see a lot of toys at these things because they either get picked over. Sometimes there's like somebody will have a space. Like there's some toy shop in that one in East Liverpool, and it actually has like a space with stuff in it. But I always, and they're always dirt cheap. I see starting lineups everywhere. Of every sport, of everything. It's like, God, how many of these did they make? Because it's like, you think like, oh yeah, this is from the 90s. It's sealed in the box, whatever. Even in the antique stores, which are way overpriced, it's like never more than like $4 or $5 for these things.
I put them out for like $3.
They're like, yeah, they're like, there's not.
There's the only one's worth something, which this will blow your mind. I don't know if I ever told you this or not. Cleveland Browns. Those ones are worth something. The Michael Jordan ones. And then any from the very first year that they did NBA. The most expensive ones are Karl Malone, John Stockton, and then whoever that third guy was from Utah Jazz. Those are the three most expensive ones. And like, it is stupid.
Did they just make like 7 million of those things? Is that why they're so cheap? Whatever. But you see
They
them
started
always in the
pumping
box.
them out, yeah.
Like there had to have been so many of those just left over, whatever. Because the starting lineups too, as a kid, if they made a ton of these too, like I remember we had those. We had some of them. You'd get your favorite players or from your team or whatever. You know what I mean? But like.
Mark Eaton.
It wasn't like you could play with it.
That was the other one.
They just sat on the shelf. It wasn't like you were playing with them. Like I've got a bunch of roached ones that sat on the windowsill, so they're all like whatever, like Eric Davis, because he was my favorite player from the Cincinnati Reds. So I've got like all of his. But yeah, they're all sun damaged. They're all like brown because they literally just. But yeah, there were so many of them. But it wasn't like you played with them. So it was like maybe that's why nobody bought these things because they weren't like
the 1988 Utah Jazz ones are worth money. I hope you have a spare pair of pants here, because when I start telling you these are solds, you very well could shit your pants. A beat up, yellowed bubble Karl Malone. Sold January 30th. $470.
Jeez.
Someone had all 4 Utah Jazz. Oh, no, they had 2 Karl Malones? No.
They just make way less of the Jazz because nobody cared about the Jazz because they're all the way in Utah, maybe?
Well, someone had 4 opened. It was Karl Malone, Mark Eaton, John Stockton, whoever the other guy is. Loose. No cards. I want you to guess.
For all 4 of them? I'm going to say $100 a figure. $400.
$1,000.
Jesus. Loose.
Someone,
whatever.
yeah,
$1,000 for those.
a John Stockton graded an 85. 1850.
Dang. Yeah, they must have just not made
Karl
it.
Malone by
gave a shit about the
himself, loose, 280. A Karl Malone loose graded an 80 plus. No card. $500.
Man, I got to yell at my brother. Why wasn't he into Karl Malone or the Jazz back in the day? Could have had these things, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think we had any NBA ones, to be honest with you. Like we had, it was all baseball. It was all either like Reds, Cardinals. I think we had. There's a Bernie Kosar one. I think we had. Maybe an Ozzie Newsome.
I had a freaking.
I'm not even sure.
I had a Cleveland Browns one. I found it at the flea market for $3. I sold it for like $50. But now I'm looking.
You have to see if we still have those Browns. I don't know that we do.
Let's see here. Let's go most expensive. Highest price. Let's see what sold. John Stockton, 1850.
That's
Mark
insane.
Wilson from the Raiders. I don't know who the hell that is.
I don't know who that is either.
$1,100.
Jeez, oh man.
Oh, mind you, these are all 1988.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, AFA graded $965. The Minnesota Vikings, a full set of 5. $960. It's only the ones from 88, the first year. A Reggie Miller, $645.
Yeah,
The Redskins graded Jay Schroeder, graded an 85, $500. And the worst part is I never, ever, ever, ever see any starting lineups from 1988.
yeah. I mean, they're probably with those prices, nobody's getting rid of them. But yeah, they're just so freaking.
Billy Ray Smith Jr.
It's like stacks of these things at
Graded.
stores. It's crazy.
$420. John Elway, that horse face fuck. $424 graded. Sam Perkins from the Mavericks. I don't even know who he is.
I remember Sam Perkins, yeah.
$421. And mind you, a lot of these are bids. Brad Doherty from the Cavs. $400.
Dang.
Graded Jim McMahon. $350.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Bob Golick graded. And I got 75. That's not a very good grade. $350.
I'm noticing none of the baseball ones are in there. I'm guessing they made more of the baseball ones at the start. Like baseball ones probably weren't super in 80. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what they started with the baseball ones. I think that was the first line or the first ones they put out. Or maybe those are the most popular ones. I don't know.
Yeah, let me.
But there's no like expensive baseball ones that
right
seem
here
like from there.
Mike. The last one that sold is a LA Dodgers one.
Mike Scioscia?
Yeah, graded an 80, $200.
Okay, well, that's there, but that's still not like the other ones. I'm guessing they made more of the baseball.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And they're like, oh yeah, we can do football and basketball too, and then they were on to the next.
Someone sold a full set of. Why won't this let me see the picture? A full set of Supersonics, $275.
Well, I might need a full set of the Reds now that you're thinking of this. That might be something else I got to look forward to. do you have all the reds from whatever? I don't know, the 88 or whatever.
1988. If you have any 1988 starting lineups that you want to sell, not for crazy prices, contact BJ.
If it's Cincinnati Reds, that's
He needs a Karl Malone.
I'm guessing
he needs the mailman.
I'm not sure who all was in that line for the Reds. I'm guessing it was Eric Davis, Barry Larkin, Chris Sabo. That might be it. It might just be I don't know. I'll have to look and see. I'm not sure how many Reds starting lineups we made in 1988. Another rabbit hole. Thanks, Rick. Let me go down.
Hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm helping America. Like I said, if I could, I found a Bob Golick once. It was loose with no helmet. I think I sold it for I don't know, like $20.
We might have had a Clay Matthews too, and out of that line too. I remember Clay Matthews being in that line too.
Yeah, they didn't make very many Cleveland Browns, at all. So I don't know, but Toyhio tickets are selling like crazy because my phone keeps going off. So don't forget to get your tickets. Who knows? By the time this airs, they could be sold out because I don't know when it's going to air. Today, tomorrow, Friday.
Oh, the early birds. This should be up. Today's Wednesday. We're recording this. Yeah, it'll be up by Thursday.
Okay.
Sometime tomorrow.
Well, tickets might be sold out. If not, get them because they're going to sell out. But you can always buy your admission at the door, like I've said 9,000 times, and people still don't listen to me. But we're done here for the day. We're going to collect our thoughts and start writing our Toyhio wish list. So once again, thank you for tuning in and checking us out. We'll be back here probably next week. Right?
That works.
Okay, yeah, we're back next week. We're not canceled yet. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in and checking us out, and we will see you all at Toyhio, or as Luke Gallows would say, Toyhio.